Hi guys, thank you and welcome back to another week of video. I am back from my birthday week getaway or break or what you call it. We also in the middle of like remodeling my studios. That's why we just hang up the frame right here and right here. That's why you see they have no photo yet because I just ordered a few prints and they haven't come yet. So when they come, we're gonna pop them in right there. And yeah, so I did a little bit of haul on Morphe store for all the Christmas sale that was going on, and I got myself the Jim Charles new eye brush set. We're gonna try how this brush gonna work. Also, we're gonna try on the Mannymua newly released collaboration with the Morphe store. And I got the palette right here. I also want to try a few things from Morphe store that I think is cute, like this one. It is super cute. This is the eggs, beauty blender eggs from Bakerie. I think this is super cute, how the packaging, but we're gonna go into that. We're also gonna try on P.Louis face that a lot of people love. And this, oh, I also got this from Morphe store. I'm not sure what it is. Is it like an eyeliner or lip pencil? But we're gonna try on this one also. And one more thing. This is not from Morphe, but I also got it from like Christmas holiday sale. So this one is from Artist Couture Mcgrath Holiday Vault. So this have all the highlighter, the popular highlighter set is also a clutch. So we're gonna unbox this one and see how this gonna work for a highlighter and a few more things. So yeah, gonna be a lot of things we're gonna go through today. So if you're interested, stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Also ring the bell button right here. I post every single Wednesday on YouTube and also on IGTV every Friday. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c.snow. Okay, let's get cracking. Christmas is almost here, and with this year we have so many guests coming. My dad is coming to town. Andre friends from Russia also coming to town, so we're gonna have guests here for like during Christmas week. So I'm not sure if I be able to post during Christmas week, maybe taking a break because we have so many guests coming in and out, so I might not be able to tape. But for today, let's start with this cute little thingy. So this one, again, this one is the Beauty Bakerie. I saw this in the Morphe store for like the longest time. I'm like, what is that? It's so cute. So this one is the blender eggs. That's what they call it. So this kind of like mimicking the Beauty Blender sponge. So it's coming in this like cute cotton package. It looks like an egg because Beauty Blender look like an egg shape. So what it says around here is called nutrition facts. That's so cute. Nutrition facts for Beauty Blender. So this one is great when used wet, complexion smoothing for those hard to reach area, durable, reusable, eco-friendly. And I believe this one is only $18, and for Beauty Blender is already $20. And this one coming like a 6 different sponge. It's practically the same thing as Beauty Blender, I believe. I haven't tried it, but we're gonna try this one. And the Beauty Blend original one gonna be $20. So with this one, you get a little bit more sponge in here for a cheaper price from Morphe. And when you open the package, oh shoot! 1 second. My God. Okay. So here is the package. It's still cute. Look, it looks like egg cotton. So when you open this one, it comes in like this. That's so cute. Okay. So the first thing I can see and compare between this sponge and the original Beauty Blender is the density of it. So this one it look like it's really dense, and it say you can use it wet. You have to use it wet just like the Beauty Blender, but so far the difference between these two is the Beauty Blender original technology is using some technology to making the sponge mimic like the human pores. So what it says, so each time you do an indentation with the beauty blender, it mimics like a pore size. That's why if you look close with the beauty blender, you can see all like the little pores into it. So that what give you more like skin-like complexions. With this one, like even though it's super cute and super cheap one, if you look really close to it, I feel like it's a little bit more denser than the original beauty blender. Like the pore size is too dense. It feels a little bit more like a synthetic sponge that you get at the store. But I'm not sure how it's gonna look out when it's get wet. So let me go wet this one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I wet both sponge right here. So this one is, I feel like it's really dense for the Beauty Bakerie sponge. And this one is the original sponge right here. If you look close to them. So this one is what the Beauty Bakerie sponge look like after you wet them, and this one is the original Beauty Blender. So this one you feel it's a little bit more softer, a little bit more fluffier, and then the Beauty Bakerie sponge is a little bit more denser and there's less pores to it, but it feels so nice. Today I'm not going to use this sponge, I'm going to fully use this sponge to see what's the difference. And first up we're going to go in with complexions, and the foundation I'm going to go in today, again, is one of my favorite one. It's going to be the Fenty foundations right here. Hydrating foundations. Also, I'm going to mix in a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury, not Charlotte Tilbury. This one is the Mcgrath foundations in light medium 14. I also already put on my moisturizer, and the primer I used today is actually the MAC Strobe primer right here. Is my new favorite one. Okay, so usually I go in with my complexion with a brush first, but since today we're gonna try on full on the sponge how it's gonna work, I'm gonna do straight on with the sponge to see how that works. So this one is absorbed into the sponge right here. It is so dense. Yeah, so this is a little bit more denser, a little bit more harder sponge than the Beauty Blender, but so far it's also blending out pretty well also. Okay, so that is going to be my first coat using the Beauty Bakerie eggs sponges right here. And so far, I feel it's really dense. It's much denser and thicker than the original Beauty Blender. For the cost of it, for $6, it's super cheap once it's super affordable. I feel it's blending pretty well. It's almost as close as the Beauty Blender original. Some of you might like this one, and some might like the Beauty Blender original a little bit more better because of the pore indentation technology that Beauty Blender was known for. This one is, I feel like it's just a normal denser sponge that is not bad at blending. So I would still get it if you don't have the money to spend $20 for a sponge from Beauty Blender. This one is you get 6 sponges for only $18, I believe, and I'm going to leave the price right down there. And this one is also from Morphe from Beauty Blender, and now majority everything else is from Eye Look, I believe. So now I'm just gonna go in and finish my complexion using this sponge, and I'm gonna come back to tell you the rest for this eye. So for this eye makeup, we're gonna go in with the Mannymua new collaboration with the Morphe. So this palette is called, I guess it's just called the Glam palette, and here is the packaging. So the way he does it, because he like marble, this is the Morphe and Mannymua Glam palette, and this is the back with Manny picture right here and all the detail. And what it says on the back, it says, "Been so special for me to collaborate with Morphe on this Glam collections. I'm so proud to be part of the brand that can bring you such amazing quality at an affordable price. I know you guys will feel beautiful wearing this shade, Mannymua." So this comes with 14 shades with the ultimate glam, trail ethereal eyeshadow in matte and shimmer finish collide with 2 otherworldly highlighter and this dreamy palette. This palette is only $20. You heard right, it's only $20 from Morphe. Regular Morphe palette I believe is around $35. To the upper palette about $45. But this one is a special one. I'm not sure why it's only $20. It's kind of make me worry a little bit of the price. Like I love how it's only $20, but why is it only $20? Okay, so when you open the package right here, it's come like this. It come bubble wrap and everything. That is the palette. First thought about the packaging. Since it's more like $20, I think is I don't think put a lot of money onto the packaging. It's more like about the formulation and the products itself. I think he tried to make this one a little bit more affordable for everybody to use them and for everybody to have them, because there's so many people launching the palette this year. Like it's like one after the other. Like, I'm so tired of reviewing palette, kinda, because there's so many palettes I still have to go through. But this one, I think he's trying to make everybody it's more affordable for everyone. It's only $20 instead of like usually palette that is like $40 or like $50 range. So when you open this palette right here, that is the palette. Ooh. So now I'm just gonna go in and swatch the first row of color. The first color gonna be Dust Cloud, Scorpio, Fire Witch, and Leo. So here again is the color of the first row, and first thought, I don't feel like this one have a lot of pigment. The color are nice, but I don't feel like it's have a lot of like pigment on it. Okay, now we're just gonna go into the second row to swatch the second row color, and the first color in second row is gonna be Sophie. Next one is Spellbound. Next one is Cancer. Okay, it's also pretty sheer. And then Zaya. And again, here is the color of the second row. Okay, now we're just gonna go into the last row of color, and the first color I'm gonna swatch is called Boy Next Door. The next one is Jamenta. Jamenta. And then Aries. Interesting color. And last one is called Howl. Ooh, a lot of pigment on that one. And here is another look of the last row of colors. And the palette also comes with two different highlighter right here. So this one is called Apollo, and this one is called Nova. So I'm just gonna swatch that too. So it's really hard for you to see the color of highlighter when you swatch on camera. But here is Apollo. It's really sheer. And this one is Nova. Apollo have a little bit more like a golden color, and Nova also a little bit more lighter. They do look a little bit ashy. I don't feel like there's a lot of reflection pigment in there. It's a little bit more dull, or it's not that high pigment on shimmer. Not shimmer like the metallic, like when you do highlight it doesn't glow as much. I have a lot of lights right here, but it's really muted, I would say. More muted. Okay, next up we're just gonna go into applying the eye makeup. And to applying those, we're gonna go in to try on the Jim Charles eye brush set right here. So once you open the package, and another reason why I like to gem brushes, because it's come with this little holder thingy, which is super cute. So this one is leather. It is smaller than I thought though. Leather. And here is all the 13 brushes that come into it. So let me unbox all these brushes and we're gonna try them on. So first look at all of these brushes. I see like a lot of brushes that I feel like I can use. And there's a lot of option for blending, and yeah. The few of them, if you haven't used Morphe brushes, they are pretty decent and also reasonable. very affordable price. I think they're only like $7 or $10 a brush comparing to Sephora, which would go up to like $20 or $30 a brush. So the brush from Morphe is really, it's okay. It's okay brushes. It's not going to be the best brushes in the world, but it does what it's supposed to do. And to have a lot of different options for you to pick from. And it's super affordable. If you just start out doing makeup, I would recommend going to Morphe and get you a whole bunch of different brushes because they are really cheap and very affordable. Sephora brushes does last a little bit more longer. I have like a brush that lasts for like a few years, like 5-6 years, and I'm still using it like a long time. And I believe all these brushes synthetics or natural fiber. Oh, one more thing. So I did went in and got P.Louis base number 1. So a lot of people have been liking to use this one as like an eyeshadow base. It does come with like a different color, and this one is number 1. When you unbox the box, totally butchered that box. With the base coming out like this. It does come in like, I think it's like a giant ass one, like a bigger size. This one is the 1.15 millimeter. Yeah, so this is a smaller one, but I feel like this is gonna be a lot because you're using for your eye and you're not using a lot for your eye. And the color I'm using is called Rumor 1. So what this does is gonna be like an eyeshadow, not eyeshadow, a base for your eyeshadow. A lot of makeup artists like to use this one for your pigment to go on to make your pigment pop a little bit more or last longer throughout the day, because a lot of people have a little bit more like an oilier crease. So think of it more like a foundation for your eye with a magnifying component to it. So it's gonna have your eyelid not gonna be creased so much throughout the day, and your makeup, your eye makeup gonna last longer throughout the day. Also gonna punch up the color also. And a little bit go a long way with this one. You don't need to use like a lot. I feel it's also hydrating also. A lot of eyeshadow base I feel a little bit too dry for some reason because it's have like that matte component for your eyelid. But this one I feel is also hydrating. The first color I'm gonna go in is Sophie. I feel like that's gonna be matching my skin tone the best, and it is. So I'm just gonna set that all over my lid on top of the eyeshadow base. And it's actually a perfect match in my skin tone. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Morphe M441 again with the color Sophie. Just gonna help blend everything out, and I bring this all the way to my brows. The next color I'm gonna go in is called Java. I feel like that's gonna be the perfect transition color. So usually I'm going to go in with more like a neutral color first to define my crease. Kind of like contouring for your eyes. You want to go in with a little bit more like a neutral color to define your bone structure. And this, at this case, is your eye bone structure. So now I'm just going to move on to the Morphe Morphe M152 brushes. It's more like a flat brush. I'm going to go in with the same color called Zara. On my bottom lash line, this is going to be my new favorite brush because it's so thin and precise. So the next color I'm going to go in is called Spellbound right on my crease line. I'm just going to go in again with the M441 and I'm going to dip a little bit onto Spellbound. Just a little bit. And I'm just going to press that right outside and blend up again to my crease, or my socket line I would say, because I have really little crease. So I'm using my socket line as a guide. And so far with the P.Louis base underneath, I kinda love it. Everything blending out so easy and super smooth. So I think I'm starting to like eyeshadow base. So now I'm just gonna slowly building up that color Spellbound right on my crease, and I'm just gonna go ahead and look back so I can show my socket line a little bit more. So it's gonna be a little bit more easy for me to blend it in there. I also like to bring out the color closer to the bridge of my nose also, and bring outward and upward. Okay guys, so I actually did went in and used the brush M152 with the color Spellbound, I'm not gonna color that on the inside corner of my eyes to keep it a little bit more deeper on the inner corner, because I'm just gonna go ahead and put a halo on right on the center. So I already blend everything out. Now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M224 with a little bit of P.Louis eyeshadow base. This one gonna be a perfect to cut your crease with. So actually this brush is a little bit big. I wish this one is slightly smaller, because since the P.Louis is a little bit more like a cream base, you want something more like a synthetic brush so it doesn't soak into the cream products. They have one right here, also smaller, but I think this is natural fiber. Maybe it's not, like it's right size, but I feel like this is a little bit more synthetic, so this could be better to cut the crease with. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and make a line right on the center, stop right where my crease is supposed to be. It doesn't have to be like perfect because you're not cutting the whole crease, you just practically just want to light on the center. And now that I have the light down the center, now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M124 to go in with the color Fire Witch, because I think that's gonna be an interesting color. So I'm just gonna use the flat brush and pack in the color Fire Witch right on the center where you did the cut crease. So the Fire Witch color actually a very interesting color that I haven't seen from any other palette before. Like it's kind of like terracotta, like peachy terracotta color. It's really pretty. Now that I have that color on the center, now I'm just gonna go back with the Morphe M441 and just gonna blend right on the top just to make sure everything blend together. And so far I think the color Spellbound is so far my favorite. But if you look into the palette, it's not really, because if you look into the palette, it's not really like red or burgundy. It's more like a brownish color, but once you apply it into your eye color, it's gonna give you a little bit more of that like burgundy color, which is really pretty. I haven't seen any other color that kind of come out the color like that. So I'm just using the flat brush to press the pigment in, because again this palette, the pigment is not a lot in the color, but I kind of like it that way because you can slowly pack in the color and then blending it out, instead of having a palette that have a lot of color in one pan, and then you have to try so hard to like blend everything out because there's so much pigment. And also it doesn't have a lot of fallout either. Usually I put more like baking powder underneath because I'm afraid there's going to be a fallout on the palette. But so far I'm using this really fluffy brush, but I haven't seen one fallout yet, so it's really good on that point. And now that I blend everything out, we're going to go into tight line, and actually the next one we're going to go in is actually the Morphe. Another one I got was the Morphe color pencil set that it came with. I think this is only like $12, something like that. I'm gonna put the price right down below, but it's coming with like 5 different colors. So here's all the packaging of all the color. So it's come with different shades. So it does come with like a black called Midnight, cat name is Midnight, Editorial, which is more like a silvery color like here. Gemma is more like a gray color. That's an interesting color. Fantasy, so this one is more like a grayish silverish tone, and this one is Sparkler. This is more like a charcoal gray color, like 50% gray or something. So for tight lining, I'm actually gonna go in with the color Midnight because our cat name is Midnight. So I'm just gonna go in with Midnight. So they say this one is color pencil, but it doesn't mention is it more like an eye pencil or a brow pencil or a lip pencil. Okay, so here is the color Midnight. I think this is an eye pencil, right? I think you can use it for lips too, because Morphe pencil is usually more like multi-use. So you can use for eye, you can use for lip, maybe your brows. The next one is called Editorial. It's more like a coppery brown color. And then next one, these boxes. This one is called Gemma. This is an interesting color. I don't think that's gonna be my favorite color. Is this an eye pen? It's more like a multi-dimensional color. For me, it looks like a bruise. So it's kind of a weird color. This one is called Fantasy. This is more like a silverish color. And then the last one is more like a grayish charcoal, or 50% gray. This one is called Sparkler. So now I'm gonna go in with the color Sparkler. I think this is an eye pencil, right? So I'm just gonna go in really tight line and do a really tight closest line to my lip. So now with the pen, I'm just gonna go in from like the bottom up. I'm gonna see where my brows is. Usually you can know by like the cupid's bow where your brows, that's usually where you're line up your wing be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hold it like this and slowly swing it up to create a wing. And I'm just gonna go extend it out a little bit. Then when you get that wing out, just gonna go ahead and connect it inward. That's how you're gonna get a perfect wing liner. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. And one tip I would say is always to keep your pencil sharp, because you're gonna get a little bit more sharper line if you have like a sharp pencil rather than like a dull one. I see a lot of people using like a dull pencil and trying to go in and trying to get a sharp line, which is gonna be impossible. And I think that is even. And another tricks I like to use is use the Q-tip. If you want that end line to be really sharp, use the Q-tip. And when it's the eyeshadow, the eyeliner is not set yet, because usually you get about a few seconds before it's set. So use a Q-tip and do one clean swipe upward. That way you're gonna get a little bit more cleaner line from the bottom. It's so cold. It's so windy outside also. I think it's outside right now. It's only like 43 degrees and super windy. Now that I'm sharpening my pencil, I'm just gonna go ahead and tightline on my bottom line also. And the way I tightline my bottom eye, because my eye is a little bit more almond shape and I want to open the center a little bit more. So that way I'm just gonna tightline on my outer corner right here. And not going all the way to the center, because I don't want the whole line on the bottom to be a solid line. I want a disconnection between the center. So I'm gonna go in from the outer corner 1/3 the way in, then I'm gonna skip a little bit, and then I'm gonna go from the center 1/3 all the way out. That way you're gonna give a little bit more opening on the center also, and gonna give you more like a V-line look. I feel like it is too harsh if you have like a solid line on top, also a solid line on the bottom. And now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M508. It's more like a small smudge brush. I'm just gonna go in and smudge out that liner to keep it a little bit more softness and not such harsh line. After that, I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. And the mascara I'm using today is the everybody's favorite, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara right here. So this one gonna give you more like a length and volume. If you use this one a lot, sometimes it does get a little bit more clumpy. The trick for that is, when I talked to the rep, they showed me is because the formulation dried really quick and it does get clumpy on here. So the trick is, I know there's gonna be ways, but you use a paper towels and trying to get all of that off. And after that, you're gonna get a little bit more cleaner brush right here and dip that again into the the mascara. After that, use it and you're gonna get a little bit more better result. It's more spread and doesn't clump, because now you're just gonna get fresh formulation from the mascara and not all the dried up clump. So now I'm just gonna leave my eye makeup right here. Now I'm just gonna go off camera to do my brows, slap on my lashes, and then I'll be right back to tell you how I feel about this palette right here, the Mannymua X Morphe palette. Okay guys, I am back with my lashes on, my contacts also, my brows is done. I'm gonna include all the products I use right down below, and the lash I actually use is from Ardell number 207. I feel like this is one of my new favorite lashes. It's full, but it's easy to apply also, that's why it's my favorite one. And the lip liner I have on right now actually is from KKW Beauty. This is Lip Nude 1. And then the lipstick that I have on is also from KKW Beauty right here. And this is the color in Nude 2. So I did finish my complexion, but I did not have any bronzer. I have a lot of bronzer on. I didn't have any highlighter on because I want to try this highlighter from the palette, the Mannymua X Morphe palette. So I'm not sure which one I like. Usually I go on with a little bit more bronzier highlight. So I'm just gonna go in first. I'm gonna try with the Apollo. And that I'm just gonna put on the highest point of my cheek, a little bit on my forehead. And then out with a Morphe M433 from the James X Morphe brushes. I'm just gonna go in with that little Apollo again. I'm gonna go right under my brows. And at the center bridge of my nose, I actually want a little bit more brighter on the bridge. So I'm gonna go in with the color Nova right here. I'm just gonna put that right on the center. And that is pretty glowy. And one last thing I want to open, and this is going to be a highlighting kit right here. So this one again is from Artist Couture, created by Mcgrath, if you didn't know him. So the box is coming like this. It's called Disco Couture. I got this for like the holiday vault. It's the holiday sale, and this whole thing is only $50. And what caught my eyes is actually this one. So this is actually the way he created. It's kind of like a clutch. That's shimmery. And once you open this, all this color in here. All of this is, if you haven't used them, they are his highlighting powder. So all of this is in a powder form, and they create this whole package for you to travel with. So this is actually like a clutch. It does have like a chain to it. And when you take this out, you can use this like as a holiday clutch. And this is again from Artist Couture from Mcgrath. And I haven't tried on all of this color yet, but I actually, so I'm not gonna swatch all of this because again it's more like highlighting powder and it doesn't really show as well under video light. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop one out. So the one, the color right here, it's more like a really small one. This is more like a travel size one, but the actual full size one is actually like 10 times larger than this. So again, this is more like a sampling box with all of this powder. So the way I like to use this is just a little bit because it's more like really high pigment powder. You use a smaller brush. And it becomes blinding. So again, a little bit go a long way with this one. And that is it. So extra glowy, extra highlighting. These, like I never thought that I'm gonna like the powder highlighter, but this so far gonna be my new favorite finishing highlighter powder. And then the last stop we're gonna go in is for blushes. So one of my favorite blush to use is actually from the Jouer blushes right here, and the color I'm using is in Rose Gold Duo Blush. And I'm just gonna, I like to have my blush a little bit higher up on my temple and a little bit on my forehead. So majority gonna be right here. And one last product is actually another one from Artist Couture. This one is his lip gloss and the color name is Uncensored. I feel like the KKW Beauty lip liner and lipstick is a little bit more like matte finish. My lips just dry, so now I'm just gonna go in with the Artist Couture lip gloss to a little bit more hydrated. This is such a good formula and have a few different colors that I want all of them. This is such a good nude. The way the brush of this one go in like this. So honestly, this brush tip is not my favorite because it feels a little bit more wobbly. It's not like a doe foot that you have like a solid base. So this one, the reason why it's like this because it's have a little bit hole on the center, so it's gonna give you a little bit more fuller coverage with the lip gloss. But then it's a little bit wobbly, so each time I put it in here, I'm kind of like nervous it's gonna break off. But the formulation and the color is super nice. It's perfect nude lipstick for this lip combinations. And I think that's about it. So if you happen to like this makeup look, don't forget to leave me a comment right down below. That would be so nice. I love to read all your comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down here also. That would help me a lot. Also, ring the bell button right here. I post every single Wednesday on YouTube and also on my IGTV every single Friday. And while you're there, don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c.snow. Okay, that's about it. Let me know how you like this makeup look. Okay, till next week, holiday party look. Bye bye.